Welcome! E aí, galera, beleza? Bem-vindo à nossa comunidade.
Welcome to our community.
Hey, what's going on, guys? It is OGC here. Welcome to episode 5 in our Art of Conquest episode series. Today we have a bunch on the agenda. So, first things first, let's see how everyone did in last week's community challenge. So, if you're watching this video, the deadline is over. So, in the comment section below, let me know how much honor you gained in the past 7 days or past week. If you made progress on the next episode, I will highlight your comments and show everybody out there on here. So, if you were competing against me, which I hope you all were, and or competing against yourself, see how good you can be. Let's check out and see what I ended up getting. So I started off at 91.9 million honor lifetime, and in the past 7 days, I'm up to 107.2 million honor. I did a ton of farming. I did a lot of time farming. Honestly, I spent a significant portion of time, a bunch of potions on trying to get as much honor as possible. And I think it came out to be about 15.3 million honor gained in the past 7 days. That's over 2 million honor a day. I will take that gladly. So, for next week's challenge, between now and next week, let's see how many flawless divines or flawless, we'll stick with flawless divines. How many flawless divines can you get between now and next week? Now that we have all this honor, I'm pretty sure I have a decent amount of alchemy stones again. I do. Let's see how well we can do crafting. So I'll do my best at getting as many red items as possible in the next week. I hope you guys do the same. Let me know in the comment section below on how much honor you gained in the past 7 days, what you started with, what you ended with for your lifetime honor, and whatever the difference is, because I'm not good at math or anything really. So let me know that, and I will show you off in the next video. And for next week, see how many flawlesses you can get, and we will continue this trend. We have an amazing community here, so we have to highlight that, and we have to make ourselves better each and every day. So with that, the next thing that we're going to look at is hero positionings for PvP. Now I need to be careful with this because some of this information could be used to help out the enemies. And the first one is, let's just get a couple troops out there. Let's get a couple packs of archers. We'll ignore everything else for right now. So if we are human and we're looking at where to place our heroes, probably the first point to build your PvP formation, or any formation really, is going to be centered around your Avalon. So down here in the grids, if I can get the grids back, when we look at the grids, the teal represents your back, the green represents the front. So if Avalon is in the green, he's going to run forwards. Realistically, he's just going to die. If we look at the teal, then Avalon will stay in the back, along with all of the heroes that work that way, such as Fenris, Lunella, Elena, etc. So I think a really good spot to start building your army is around Avalon. Avalon is going to be placed wherever your highest DPS troops are. Typically, these are going to be ranged troops. Ranged troops tend to do more damage than melee troops for most races in most situations. It also allows him to stay in the back line. See, the reason why Avalon and other heroes such as Gazul for Lich or Gan for Sylph are so important is if they die, all of those bonuses that they offer die with them. So take that HP aura for Avalon where he boosts all humanoid health. If he dies, all of the humanoids lose out on that health. So it's important to keep these types of heroes alive. So Avalon in the back, and you want his Warhorn, which is the aura, to affect the archers. So if we place him all the way in the back, the archers lose the icon for Warhorn. So we want to place him so he is touching the archers. In the formation I'm using right now, I have the archers split up so that he can kind of cover both, but it protects both archers from, say, a Warwick's or just a Rufio jumping in and killing all of them all at once. But for the sake of simplicity, we'll just go with this. Now, when we build around Avalon, there are a bunch of options. So this is not a clear-cut thing. This is hopefully just to get your mind going, to come up with some decent ideas for yourself. The best thing you can do is take this with a grain of salt, use your imagination, go do some trial and error, try out different things, and make mistakes, learn from them. So we have Avalon to boost up the range. Now the next major thing that we're going to do is we're going to put heroes around Avalon that benefit from his Warhorn. So anything that gains attack speed, so any real auto attack type of heroes we're going to put with Avalon. So for this might look like, well, definitely Mako. Mako will. And Mako will also benefit your archers if he has the staple. It could look like something such as, if I can find it, Sprig. And also, if we're putting out Mako and Sprig near archers, the other thing that would help all of this would be putting out Yips. Yips do matter. So right there, we're up to like 5 heroes, and we only have 2 offensive ones so far. So some other variations you can do is you can include your Jax there, or you could put Jax off to the side because the aura will extend out that far. So Jax could be there. If you are planning on doing spray and pray with Jax really early, then relying on Warhorn isn't going to be the biggest deal in the world. But if you wait for your spray and pray, typically in PvP, then getting that extra auto attack speed from Avalon at the beginning could benefit your Jax tremendously. The other things that I would consider is having a Denji nearby. So the reason why Denji is important is Denji will weaken armor for the enemies, increasing all of your damage. Having him get the attack speed boost will get him spinning more often. His spins will offer him more damage reduction against ranged units, so it's all beneficial. There are some downsides to this, just like everything. So Warhorn is really good at boosting up all of the speed. The downside is your archers are going to run forwards really fast, and Denji is also going to run forwards very fast. So if Denji makes it to the front line before the enemy targets lock on to your front line, then Denji could become targeted and instantly drop, or pretty close to instantly. Now there are a bunch of finer details with all of this, but let's go with human. Let's just roll with human for a second. What we could do is we could put Jax. Whoops. We could put Jax over there, and we could keep we could keep Denji towards the middle, benefit the archers a little bit, and we could also throw out, say, a Virion. So I guess one of the other questions is, why would we put a important hero such as Virion right up here? Why would we put Virion around all of these high damage troops? He might get Warhorn, he might not, depending on how you set this up. It's all up to you. I would look at my PvP videos if you want more ideas on what to do for humans, but the safest place for Virion, in my opinion, for humans, because you need him alive for humans for the resurrection and the mastery bonuses, etc. The safest place for him is probably on your power side. If your power side loses, the fight's over anyways. You're going to lose that fight. But the whole point of creating a power side is so hopefully your power side can beat the enemy power side. If you do that, then there's no safer place for Virion because he's going to be on that winning side, and he should hopefully plow right through the enemy. So that's why I tend to keep the Virion over there, plus this 2-star Solantis. The healing staff artifact, very good on him to help keep him alive. Now, if we there is another interesting thing that you could do with setting up your heroes, and that is, we'll pull Avalon out again just for the sake of an example, but we also have more DPS heroes out there. So one of them would look like the Fire Mage. So if we put the Fire Mage in front of Jax, this is going to offer two things. Number one, the Fire Mage is pretty fast and she has close range attacks compared to, say, Mako. Mako can be like a fourth of the screen away, auto attack anybody down. Even against Lich Warlocks, Mako's not going to get rooted down by the curse when they die. The Fire Mage and Jax will get rooted down, so Mako's range is just insane. The Fire Mage's range is very short. It's really short, and so is Jax. So if at the beginning of the fight these two, Mako and the Fire Mage, run forwards, the Fire Mage is going to be like a human shield for Jax. Now, it's a Fire Mage. How strong can a Fire Mage be? Pretty strong at tanking. So if the enemy's Jax goes to Firestorm your Fire Mage, like try and go through your Fire Mage onto your Jax, what will happen is, if you have the Dragon set on your Fire Mage, she'll get that bubble of immunity so that your Jax actually is standing behind a human shield, literally a human shield, who cannot die. So that is something to also consider. There are so many things to consider with your formations that you make. Some things work out better than others. Where your troops are placed also makes a big impact on this. So we could actually talk for hours about this one topic. So I do recommend trial and error. And if you find downtime in the game, say there's no walls to farm, say you're done with all your daily quests, nobody wants to PvP you, you're done with Void, you have nothing to do, you're getting bored in the game, open up one of your tabs and then fine-tune your formations. This goes for events as well. If you want to do better in events, say the Swamp or Divine Trials or whatever it is, spend more time on your formations. I think the people that invest more time in practicing their formations and or setting them up properly, whatever that really is, those people do better. Those people will place higher in the Swamp, even if they have drastically less core power. They're going to win PvP based off of positional advantages. There is so much that goes into a good formation. So, and there's a bunch of little tricks, such as putting your Jax or Mako or whoever you're trying to protect that's ranged behind a Mage with the Dragon set on it. So we could go over a million different things with this, but instead, what I'll do is I'll show you my I'll show you one of my more common PvP formations that I'm using. You can see it in Clash of Fate for right now. We can take a peek at this, and I can kind of walk you through why I'm doing certain things. I'm just gonna get rid of that before I forget. So let's start at the bottom. So on the bottom here, I have one pack of swords with the turtle. Next to the turtle, I have Bane and Balrog. So they're also positioned with the swordsman in one, as opposed to the swordsman all the way over. How the pathing of your heroes and or other troops can be significantly impacted based on that one blank cell. Let me see if I can move it. The one blank cell up here, or it might be up here. That one blank cell could mean the difference between a hero running straight out or your hero running all the way around and buying more time. The best way to see how this works is trial and error. You can kind of get used to it if you're doing a sieging. You can kind of see the trends that happens based on those positioning. So if I think about the players that I really respect and look up to, they look at these finer details such as, is this swordsman pack there or is this swordsman pack here? If we're just rushing to put something together, we might not even consider this or think about it. But it has a big impact. So by having the swordsman over that way, my Bane is going to path pretty much straight forward. So he'll curve around the swordsman pack a little bit. And what that will allow is Bane's provoke so that Belrog can build up to the 5 stars above him so he gets the resurrection. My whole Bane is there to make sure that my Belrog fully charges up and lives as long as possible. Because of my artifacts, my Bane isn't going to be the best tank out there. But Belrog, no matter what, Belrog is going to be a good tank as long as it's leveled up. So my goal of this is to keep Belrog alive. Fenris is in the back corner down here, mostly because this is my stall side. I need those extra wolves. And again, because the swordsmen are over, the wolves will be able to run around and get in deep fast. Next, I have Tyrden. So sometimes I pull Tyrden out, I put something else in. Since there are more and more Lich, I'm trying to get myself used to having Tyrden out there. For the most part, she does pretty well at staying alive. Because I'll retreat the turtle and just the way that the opening moves works out, she'll end up towards the bottom with Bane and Belrog. So being near Bane for the provokes to hopefully take some heat off of Tyrden is a very good thing. And at the same time, she can also heal the Bane and Belrog. I have Grims down here mostly because I struggled with where to place him. So the next kind of level up, I have the Dragon and Talk. For humans, I keep the Talk and Dragon together just because they perfectly fill out one of those columns, and it gets weird without it. Up above there, I have Cleo, Warix, and Mako all behind one pack of archers. And maybe we should take a peek at this whole top section, because this is where all of my power comes from. In this top section, we do have Warix and Cleo. They're pretty much in the middle of my formation, so hopefully they're pretty well protected. Next to them we have Yip with Mako, and you can see from the Mako's tail that Mako is getting benefited from the Warhorn. That's huge. You want your Mako to have Warhorn from Avalon, and we also have Yip there to benefit the archers and everything. In fact, we could even bring Mako up. Then we have Jackson the Fire Mage directly behind at Avalon, and in front of Avalon is Denji. So with this type of setup, it allows the Fire Mage and Jax to hit the enemy units that have weakened armor. The archers can also target that area as well. If I decide to start off with Denji, it will just create a massive amount of weakened armored troops. Or if I'm going up against trees, and I replace my front line with spears, it will allow the spears to do a lot more damage on that power side. If you choose to go with the power side, you want that power side to win, and you want to win it fast. Above that is Mako and Sprig and Yip. Sprig and Yip. All these short little yodel. Is that what they're called in League of Legends, like Teemo and Poppy and everything? Anyways. We have Sprig and Yip on the top. And finally, we have Varian and Elena. So again, I needed a spot to put Elena. If Elena is there, I run the risk of having the Fenris Wolves coming back and killing Elena. I have that risk, but so far it hasn't really happened too much. And having Varian up there serves two purposes. Number one, he'll probably live for a while because he's on the power side. And number two, he'll be able to offer that much more tankiness to that top section. Of course, up here I can move things around, so I can swap Mako with Sprig if I wanted to. There is some variations here. I don't have the mages directly in front of any of my key heroes because I don't run the mage set on all of my mages for various reasons. And I did kind of gloss over it, but the Cleo and Warix, these guys are, or Raxius. I finally got saying Raxius right, and now I'm just kind of off my game. So the Cleo in Raxius in the middle should protect them long enough so I can at least get down the Cleo Black Hole and Raxius for his 3 skills. Is this a good formation? I really don't know. It's working for me. I'm winning a lot of fights with this, even against people way higher core power than me. So I think that's the big takeaway. You can spend the time to create your formations. Think about why you're putting each hero where you're putting them. Are they benefiting other heroes around them? Like, for example, Bane with Belrog. Why did I do that? My artifacts for them aren't super strong. They're really low leveled, like 2 stars, which means if I separate them, it's very easy for one to get taken down very quickly, and losing your Belrog before it fully charges up is a very horrible feeling. So spend the time with formations, even if this is for events. If you're going to invest the time trying to do well in a event, spend some time thinking about why are you placing each thing where you did. Like even for this, my Avalon, I could fit a whole nother hero in here. So why did I do that with the Avalon? Simply because if the enemy Rufio's in for my archers or does a Cleo hole into Raxius skills and just kills off all my archers, this at least makes it so they have to focus on 2 different archer groups that will be spread out more. So hopefully one of the archer groups lives or at least partially lives, which will offer me more DPS. So think about where you put everything. The ultimate test for this will be the practical application. We can theory craft, we can come up with different formations and different ideas around the whole thing, but where the rubber meets the road, where you PvP, whether it's in the mine events or if it's in Clash of Fate, that's going to let you know if it's working or not, and then make those changes. Even those little changes like moving a troop 1 cell over, that can make a difference. So pay attention to the pathing when you watch people's replays. Pay attention to how their heroes path throughout along with the troops. So with that, guys, I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Remember to post how you did in last week's community challenge. This week's community challenge is how many red divines or flawless divines can you craft? Let me know next week in the comment section how many flawless divines you got. So with that, guys, have a wonderful day. Stay safe in Nor and or Drake, and I'll talk to you guys soon.